Chapter 2018 Resurrection Sculpture. Tip: Collection plus sharing is the greatest affirmation and support for the website. On the top of Zhongshan Mountain, Fatty Su, Uncle Yu, and Liangyang quickly left the valley and came to the beach outside. Xuanwu's spirit had been following them, but he couldn't do anything in his spirit state. After a few people left, they realized that they had a layer of cold sweat on their bodies. "Why don't we go back?" Fatty Su looked at Uncle Yu and asked for his opinion. "What are you going back for now?" "Stay here to observe the situation, and then wait for Zhang Yi and the others to come." Uncle Yu glanced at Fatty Su. It's not Fatty Su's fault. This place is too evil and always gives people a sense of horror. However, that sense of horror does not come from the demon in the abyss. It comes from the black Zhongshan Mountain that seals Mammon. It is a huge cage composed of huge bronze pillars one after another. When staring at it, people will feel a trembling from the heart. Fatty Su scratched his head and said nothing more, just as far away from Zhongshan Mountain as possible. Not long after, they found that there were humanoid creatures approaching from the weak water abyss in the distance. But when they got closer, they found that it was not Zhang Yi and his group, but a man with long black hair. Fatty Su, Uncle Yu, and others had never seen Changwan, so they naturally didn't know who he was. But seeing that man was able to cross the weak water, they couldn't help but be shocked. "This guy doesn't seem to be among the personnel of our operation this time, right?" Fatty Su asked with a puzzled look. Liangyang stared at Changwan. "Definitely not him. This person didn't come with us. Let's get out of the way. It's not clear whether he is an enemy or a friend." The three people retreated cautiously, and soon Changwan landed. His long black hair shrank, but still extended to his heels, and it looked a little difficult to tell his gender. Fatty Su and the other two looked at him cautiously, and Changwan turned his head to look at them. Then he asked, "What did you find here?" The tone seemed to be asking Tom and Jerry, and did not give Uncle Yu and the other three a chance to refuse. At this time, Liangyang received the news from Zhang Yi, and only then did he know that the person in front of him was from the Qinling Dragon Clan. Let them cooperate as much as possible. Liangyang simply told him what he had seen and heard. Changwan still had no expression on his face. He just reached out and took the bronze box from behind and placed it on the coast beside him. "Leave here. It will soon become very dangerous here." The breeze blew through his hair, revealing a pair of purple vertical pupils, which were extremely strange. Uncle Yu and the other two looked at each other and did not move. Changwan ignored them at all. He dragged the strap of the box with one hand and walked towards Zhongshan step by step. His eyes were sharp, as if he was facing a powerful enemy. This operation was his second time to leave the Dragon Kingdom and come to the outside world. The first time he performed his mission normally. Although he did not enter the Tianyu Palace in the end, his own tribe sent him here only as an observer. As for the Ihan tribe, their attitude was to stay away from them, and they were unwilling to have too many intersections with them. But this time it was completely different. Hundreds of millions of years ago, the seal was set by the Dragon Clan, and the Dragon Clan also took on the responsibility of guarding the seal. Although I don't understand why such an important task is carried out by the younger generation of his tribe. Obviously, there are elders who are much stronger than him. But since this is the arrangement of the ancestors, there must be no mistakes. Because the ancestor can see the existence of the future, so it is natural for him to come. It would be a lie to say that Changwan is not nervous, but he will still carry out this mission according to the instructions of the clan. He dragged the box to the front of Zhongshan, took a deep breath, and then he clapped his right hand, and circles of mysterious symbols appeared on the box, and white light shone. Then the lid of the box was opened, and one after another white beams of light shot up into the sky. Above the high sky, above Zhongshan, it unfolded, forming a complex and huge picture. Fatty Su, Uncle Yu, and the other two were stunned from a distance, and Xuanwu also looked up and stared at all this. This is... Before they finished being surprised, as Changwan used those special devices to form a field similar to the ray, the entire Zhongshan suddenly shook violently. Boom! The black Zhongshan shook, and the entire island shook with it. Suddenly, a tragic roar came to the ears of Uncle Yu and others, like the mourning of the dead, which was particularly harsh. Even through combat uniforms and exoskeleton mechas, these roars could not be completely isolated. They covered their ears desperately, but they could not stop their brains from receiving these sounds. Their heads almost split apart with pain. At this moment, a black light shot up into the sky from Zhongshan. On the cliffs inside Zhongshan, the sculptures of the fallen angels shattered inch by inch, and the black rock layers fell off, revealing one huge body after another. The dilapidated and rotten bodies, the rotten wings, and the ferocious faces were also a little sacred. Flutter. They struggled hard and broke free from the wall. Originally, they were still bound by some bronze chains, but these chains had become rotten and slender, and they were forced to break free. One after another, the fallen angels flapped their wings and flew out along the top of the deep valley. Uncle Yu and others saw such a scene. In the valley, black smoke filled the sky, and those fallen angels who looked like corpses roared and rushed out like moths to a flame. Uncle Yu and his companions turned pale. They had just entered the abyss, but they did not realize that the large number of sculptures below were alive. If they had awakened them at that time, everyone would have died in the abyss. No, it was because they were not strong enough to awaken these fallen angels. Xuanwu was also shocked. Although those fallen angels looked corrupt, many of them had exposed bones and their wings had rotted. But their bodies were rotten, but their souls were not. The demon's eye is a special area. Mammon used his power to seal it, making it impossible for the dead souls to return to the ether. And these fallen angels were Mammon's followers countless years ago. Because of the defeat, they were sealed here together. Now that Mammon's seal is about to fail, they can also emerge from the abyss. Countless fallen angels soared into the sky, aiming directly at the white magic circle-like thing in the sky, and some pounced on Chang Wan. Chang Wan frowned slightly, but there was no fear on his face. Why do the dead souls still chase the footsteps of the devil? Let me send you back to the ether. Chapter 20:19 Gossip. He slowly spread his arms, and the long black hair behind his head suddenly fluttered without wind, circling behind him like a windmill. The next moment, these black hairs instantly extended, and thousands of hairs could actually extend to several thousand meters long, and they were still extending. The black hairs emitted a faint light like steel wires. It actually covered a piece of the sky, like a piece of top-grade black silk, beautiful, but with a dangerous aura. As the hair fluttered, his face, which had been hidden under the black hair for many years, was also revealed. It was a beautiful face that could not be distinguished between men and women, but the purple vertical pupils looked weird, making people dare not approach. The purple eyes were shaking and turned into flames burning fiercely. Tongue. Thousands of hairs blocked the sky, forming a huge cage. Purple flames rose above the hairs, and then stood up fiercely towards the fallen angels and stabbed straight at them. It was impossible to count how many hairs there were, perhaps hundreds of millions or perhaps billions. Hair is the softest thing in the world, but because it is thin, it is also extremely sharp. Under Chang Wan's control, they are the sharpest knives and the toughest ropes. Black hair broke through the air, like black stars dotted the night sky. The sound of breaking through the air rustled, fiercely piercing the bodies of those fallen angels, and then wrapped them up like dumplings. The fallen puppets wailed and attacked, but they could not cause any harm to Chang Wan at all, and even it was difficult to get close to his body, which had been wrapped into a black dumpling. Above the sky, those white sticks formed a strange and grand formation and slowly descended. Under the pure white light, these fallen angels also seemed more restless. Xuanwu and others noticed that the formation diagram formed by those white sticks seemed to have a suppressive effect on these fallen angels. Liangyang did not daze, but told Zhang Yi all the information here. This is also one of the reasons why Zhang Yi was able to wait on the other side and did not rush over. Chang Wan attracted the firepower of those fallen angels, and no one cared about these little people at all. Fatty Su was very clever, and he pulled Liangyang directly into Xuanwu's mouth. Sail, sail. Fatty Sue urged, stay away from here, so as not to be splashed by fire. Uncle Yu was stunned for a moment and chased after him and shouted, I'm not on the boat. I haven't gotten on the boat yet. Fortunately, Xuanwu waited until Uncle Yu got on the boat before slowly retreating to a certain distance from the weak water abyss. Some of the fallen angels who were shot down discovered them and wanted to chase them. But after getting close to the weak water, they screamed and fell directly into the weak water. They sank directly, without bubbling. Weak water is a seal for these guys. Xuanwu's low voice sounded. Not long after, Zhang Yi and his team also arrived near Zhongshan on the sponge. From a distance, you can see the huge white formation in the sky, floating above Zhongshan like a suppression. Chang Wan's black hair blocked the sky, sealed the fallen angels one by one, wrapped them into black cocoons, and hung on the cliff of Zhongshan. These guys are also ghost walkers. Alib sighed. It would be great if Chief Odibio was still here. The shamanic spells of the Ao family have special effects on these followers of Mammon. After all, they have lived on the African savanna for a long time and have had many dealings with ghost walkers. It doesn't matter, there are people who are more powerful than him. Zhang Yi stared at Chang Wan in the distant sky. He used those hairs as a bridge, quickly interspersed in the sky, past those fallen angels that kept emerging from the valley, sealed them all up, and moved towards the valley. Zhang Yi and his team came to the vicinity of Zhongshan and met with Xuanwu and others. Uncle Yu and his men hurried over to Zhang Yi and said, We saw it. Mammon is sealed in these mountains and is now in a dormant state. Zhang Yi's heart moved. Okay, you come into my shadow. He took everyone into his own shadow and let Xuanwu stay on the shore of the weak water abyss, waiting to pick them up and leave. After all, his body was too big, and the combat power of Xuanwu was greatly reduced after landing, so there was no point in bringing him along. The three mermaids were not so restrained. They were wearing a very special equipment, and they swam to the shore like snakes, without any inconvenience in their movements. The entire Zhongshan mountain had been blocked by black fog, and a huge white formation was suspended in the sky above. After staring at the image, Yang Xinxin said to Zhang, This light formation looks a bit like Bagua. Bagua? Zhang Yi was stunned for a moment. Bagua is one of the cultures that has been passed down from ancient times in Huashu country. From ancient times to the present, it has always been regarded as an important way to explore the secrets of heaven, and it is also a means of divination in the Book of Changes. I didn't expect to see it here. But this also indirectly explains one thing. The dragon clan under the Qinling Mountains is the angel race that cultivated the humans in the Huaxi region. No wonder, although Bai Longzi's attitude towards humans is very indifferent, Shengjing district can still maintain communication with them. If angels are parents, then humans are children. Even when faced with the most difficult times, parents cannot bear to watch their children die. Yang Xinxin said, This is not an ordinary gossip. It is more complicated and mysterious. I have never seen such a pattern. She memorized this extremely complicated pattern in her heart. Brother, let's follow Chang Wan into the sealed place and take a look. If Chang Wan can directly strengthen the seal of Mammon, it may not be a bad thing. However, Zhang Yi has to take out Ling's human body. That will become an important trump card for him when facing various Doomsday crises in the future. Since we are here, what are we waiting for? Let's go in. Zhang Yi didn't say much, and directly activated the ability of Space Shuttle to come to the entrance of the valley. Darkness, complete darkness. All light is invisible, swallowed up completely. Only instruments can be used to roughly judge the surrounding environment. Ling, I came here according to your instructions. Don't let me down. Zhang Yi silently thought in his heart. At this moment, a huge and hideous crack was clearly visible at the heart of Mammon's huge body sealed in the abyss. Inside the flesh and blood like granite, like a steel drill, piercing through its chest was a body built with super ancient technology. Dear viewers, thanks for staying with me. We'll try to get you more updates. Please like and subscribe and share the video with your friends. Love you all.